In this example, we have 6 kids staying after school for help. We want to know how many different ways they can be seated in the front row. So I'm going to start off drawing 6 spots for them to sit. I think it helps to have names in a problem like this. So let's pick out 6 names. When these students come to the room to pick their seats, well, let's say this first seat here, there's 6 possible students that could sit there. So we're going to write a 6 in here. Let's say, just for fun, that Mike sat there. Now, when we go to the next seat, there's 5 students left that could possibly sit there, so we have 5 choices. And to keep track of things, let's say that Kim sat there. For my next seat, I have 4 students left, John, Kelly, Tom, and Jen, that could possibly sit there. So there's 4 possibilities. And let's say, to keep track of things, that Jen sat down. Now I have 3 students left that could possibly sit down. And you might see a pattern now. Let's say that Tom sat there. Now there's only 2 choices, John or Kelly. Let's say that Kelly sat down. John was being a gentleman, letting the lady sit first. And then there's, of course, 1 left. John has to sit there. So he chose his seat last. Now I can multiply all 6 of these numbers together to find out how many different ways these students can be seated. There are 720 different ways these students can be seated. We do 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 to get 720 possible combinations. This next problem is fairly similar to the last couple examples with the students sitting in the classroom and the password problem. This one asks us, how many different 4-letter words can be made with the first letter being a vowel and no letters being repeated in the word example? Now we're talking about 4-letter words here. We're talking about letter combinations, not dictionary words. So it's going to help to make our 4 little spots for the letters. And I like to write out my total vowels, my consonants, and my total letters all together. Now here it says that they cannot be repeated. So I have E, X, A, M, P, L, and I can't use E because then I'm repeating it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 total letters. Out of those total letters, I have E and A that are my vowels, so 2, and then I have X, M, P, and L for my consonants, 4. Now it says the first letter must be a vowel, and then it doesn't matter thereafter, but they can't be repeated. This means that there's 2 possibilities here. Let's say I use the letter A, and I'm just going to cross it out there. I've already used the letter A. Remember, we can't use this E right here, so we don't even want to think about it. Now, I can choose any letter I want, but I can't repeat. I have the choice of this E, X, M, P, and L. That's 5 different letters that I can choose from. So I have 5 here. Let's say I use the M. Now I have E, X, P, and L. That's 4 letters. So I use the X. Now I have 3. Once again, I'm just going to multiply each one of these numbers together. So 2 times 5 times 4 times 3. And I will get 120 different ways.